welcome back to my channel, Leila's Lovely Life. I am Leila, and today I wanted to talk to you about my May goals, my May challenges, and let you know how I felt about how I did in May. So for May, I set myself some pretty big challenges considering. So the three things I put down in three things that I typed out for May, you can see. So every day, declutter, and then exercise challenge, take it up this month. So as you know, I typed these out at the end of December, and I made monthly challenges for the whole year. Not knowing what the year would have in store, just knowing where I am, my season in life, my responsibilities, the things that I need to do, and the things that I need to get better at. These goals, these challenges were meant to nurture myself and allow myself to grow in areas I thought I needed help in. So I tried to pick something that would nurture me physically, spiritually, and emotionally. So what did I pick for I was gonna say June. What did I pick for May? Sew every day. So I enjoy sewing, like hand sewing at night when I'm watching TV or whatever. So I have to use my glasses to watch TV, and I can't use my glasses when I'm sewing. So it's more like listening to TV. So I sewed a lot. I don't think I sewed every single day, but I will insert a clip right here of what I did sew. Okay, so this is one of my sewing projects. So this is a curtain. There used to be a door here when we bought the house, but the dog that we had at the time ate the door. And someday I painted on the door, and someday I will show you that painting. But we didn't replace the door, we just put a curtain up. And this was when I was just kind of first starting to get into sewing. So this is like a double-sided curtain, and I sewed it with a sewing machine like all the way around. My laundry's done, my dryer's done, but the top I left open. So for a couple nights I sat down and I hand stitched the top together, and I used a blanket stitch. I've really been into blanket stitches lately. I've never really hemmed curtains, but my son's curtains needed to be hemmed. This did not have a door when we moved in. So when we moved in, 14 years ago this year, this was the kids' playroom, and we didn't need a door or curtains or anything. But now we have one of these doors that I need to paint, and then I also put these curtains in front of it. I don't know if you remember in any of the photos you've seen, but those curtains were a lot longer and they drug the floor. So I took it off, I measured it, and then I took it off and I hemmed it, and I didn't use a machine. I just did, I hand hemmed it, and I did like a running stitch. So I did that to both of the curtains. And on my Instagram and some Vita, I started working on this this has been an ongoing project, but I started seriously trying to finish it in April. And I went ahead and finished it in May. And this is a quilt. And then it has, most of this was hand sewn. I mean, it was machine sewn, as you can see. I did use red thread on the back, and this is not my proudest quilt. There's so many mistakes, but as you can see, I blanket stitched, and I don't know what I'm doing with corners yet. I'm a mess, but I did finish it. So I blanket stitched around the whole, around all 4 sides, and yeah, that is something else that I worked on. And then you're probably wondering what these are. I also upcycled some old clothing. My daughter has been decluttering, and I'm thinking about getting rid of those pillows. I need to poor little sweet Cora, her left paw. Anyway, I'm gonna go through this bag and see if there's anything I can use to recycle to make some of my sewing projects. This is a 100% cotton shirt. It has the Grinch on the front, so definitely keeping that to use for something else. This is a green shirt, 50% cotton, 50% polyester. Probably going to use that for cleaning. Put Cora outside. We'll go outside, come on. Go on, don't go on the street. Go on. Okay, you can do it. This is just an old black t-shirt that's in the save pile. Another green t-shirt, save pile. Sweatpants, donate. I don't think I can use that. Wait, can I? You know what? I could probably use this, the inside part, for like the bottom of a Swiffer. Okay, save that. I rescued these from the rag bag. These are t-shirts. This is a pair of old sweatpants. And what these are, I sewed material on this side, and I sewed material on this side. And these are reusable Swiffer pads. So this took quite a while to do. Well, not quite a while. It probably took a couple days. And so this is enough Swiffer pads. And what I do is I just like soak them in water to make sure they're completely soaked, and then I will just spray them with like Lysol or bleach or whatever, and then go over the floor and then flip them over, and then go over the floor again, and then I'll just go to the next one until my whole house has been Swiffer mopped. And then that will take probably half of them, and then I'll just throw them in the laundry, and then I'll have another set to do. I've also seen this done with flannel, so you can also make reusable cloths with flannel. So that is another sewing project that I took on this month. So as you can see, I did a good bit of sewing. I finished up some projects that I have been meaning to get to, so that's a win for me. I didn't have an ongoing project that I worked on at night. So I didn't think about organizing something like that for myself in the beginning of May, because I didn't want to add to my workload. So I would give myself an A for this. Even though I didn't sew every single day, I did get the projects that I wanted to get done. And that's a big deal, especially right now. So the second one, declutter. No, I didn't declutter. I didn't declutter a damn thing, y'all. I just didn't. I didn't think about decluttering. I just, you'll see. When I get to the other things that I put on my list, you'll see. That was like down there at the bottom. Like, I didn't even consider it. doing all these other things, I didn't consider it. And then exercise challenge, take it up this month. I was going to do toning and weight bearing. Y'all, that didn't get done. I don't know what it's going to take to get me out there and get me exercising, because I'm just not doing it. Right now, and I always have an excuse. So this is what's going on in my life right now. I live in South Texas, and it is humid and hot down here, and I don't want to exercise outside. My whole family's home. My husband is out of work. My son is out of school. My daughter, her work hours have been cut down to like 1 day a week. So, and then on Saturdays or whenever, she does job shadowing at a vet's office, unpaid, because it's part of her like school, like what she has to do for her degree. So I don't want to be jumping around inside in my little house in front of everybody, wearing mismatched, funky clothes. I just don't. So that's where I'm at with the exercise. So the things that I added to it. Okay, so I considered, you know, this was something that I made. These are challenges that I made for myself in January or the end of December. And so I was like, what do I really need to do this month? And so I chose painting inside the house 1 time a week, 15 minutes of paperwork every day, meditate every day, 20 to 30 minutes, and then I allowed myself to curl up into the fetal position for 15 minutes and wear things to make people smile. So painting inside the house 1 time a week. We got this bathroom painted. This bathroom is now the color of this, and it was the color of my bedroom. So I used the same paint in my bedroom in the bathroom years ago, and that's like a tan color. So we painted that. Actually, my husband and son painted it that color, this color, and it's beautiful. It's not perfect. It's not like, I haven't done the trim work, painted the trim work, and I didn't do it. My husband and my son did. So the reason I didn't do it is because my husband started painting the outside of the house, like the trim work, you know, and then it rained and he couldn't do it, but he was still in that painting mode, so he chose to do the bathroom. So there's still several more projects around my house that need to get done, and they mostly involve trim work, like the windows in my son's room. There's some trim in the hallway. There's things that need to get painted, and I didn't do it. So I didn't do that. 15 minutes of paperwork every day. So while my son was back here in the back room doing his schoolwork on the computer, because they couldn't go to school, I would sit down and do office work. So I did more than 15 minutes of paperwork every day, and it was needed, and that is where I concentrated a lot of my energy and efforts this month, to be honest. He had to be back here in the morning doing schoolwork, and I had to be back here with him, and it was just logical for me to sit down. So what I would do is I would get up and make breakfast. Most days I would get up and make breakfast, and then he would start schoolwork. So between like 8 and let's say 12, I couldn't really do anything else. So that's one reason why I didn't do a lot of these other things. Meditate every day. I didn't do that. To be honest, I should have put this list up somewhere where I could see it so I could remember all the things I wanted to do. but I didn't. I didn't think about it. I did meditate. I didn't meditate every day. There's some meditation channels that I subscribe to that really do kind of calm my mind. I do also sit in my room and do my ohms, and that really does calm your mind. I know it sounds woo-woo, but if you do it, you will understand what I'm talking about. And if you're embarrassed, you wait till everybody's out of the house and just sit down in your room and do the Om out loud for 5 minutes, and then you'll see what I mean. You will feel better. Your mind will be calmer. The vibration in your throat actually does something for your body. Like, it actually makes my throat feel better. Like, especially if I have allergies, especially if like I have like post like nasal drip, and doing my ohms kind of like vibrates your throat, and my throat feels better afterward. It's kind of like you gargled but you didn't. And I also didn't curl up for 15 minutes in a fetal position. That is very self-soothing. If you've never tried it, if you're embarrassed, wait till everybody's out of the house and then do it, and then tell me if you don't feel better. It is very self-soothing. It's relaxing, and you should give it a try if you haven't, and set a timer and see if you want to stay in that position after 15 minutes. Stay in that position, but try it for at least 15 minutes and see if you don't feel better. So anyway, I didn't do great this month with the challenges, and now would be a good time to talk about everything that's going on. So it has really affected me, as it has affected everybody. And I feel like that has definitely impacted my focus, my attention. The things I thought I would be doing in May, I couldn't do because everybody was home. So my husband did lose his job in the end of February, and the place he was working for closed its doors, and they are no longer even in South Texas. Like, they are no longer even in San Antonio or Austin, I don't believe. I believe that they've closed the locations in South Texas. So he has been unemployed for all of March, all of April, all of May. So for 3 months he's been home. Both my kids went to spring break, went on spring break, and they never got off of spring break. So, and I'm grateful that we live in this house. Don't get me wrong, because we are not in an apartment. We have land. We have awesome neighbors. And I wouldn't have wanted to be anywhere else during the pandemic but where we are, to be honest with you. But you can't cut yourself off completely from the news. Like, it shows up on YouTube. Like, we don't watch the news, but it still shows up on YouTube. And it's affected me, and I've been having to fight for my joy. Like, I've been having to chase joy like a butterfly that you can't catch. Some days I feel hopeless, and I feel scared, not just for my future, but for my children's future. And I wonder if we're ever going to get out of this. If this is the end. If this is the end, like as far as like biblically speaking, like biblical prophecy, is this the end? So all of that is weighing on my mind, along with the fact that I don't know if I should get a job because of where we live and we have to drive my son to school, which is about, I guess, 15 minutes away. If you are comfortable driving on the highway like my husband is, but it's like 30 minutes away if you're not comfortable driving on the highway like me. And in my husband's line of work, it's just not really possible for him to, we can't say he'll drop him off and be able to pick him up every day. That's impossible. So I kind of feel like I'm stuck. I don't know if I should go back to work. I do have a degree. I have had I have good job titles in my resume. I think I'm slightly intelligent. I could probably find a job, but then what happens if my husband finds a job? Or what happens when my husband finds a job? What are we going to do about Preston's schooling? So that has been weighing like heavily on my mind. I just don't know what to do in that department. So it's been hard to focus. It's been hard to, I was concerned I might get this coronavirus maybe the first month, but then after that, and I started doing my own research and all of that, I was like, I really don't think I'm gonna get it, and I haven't, and I've been going out. I'm not gonna lie, I've been going out without a mask, because I think sometimes a mask does more harm than good. Especially if you're someone like me who has chronic bronchitis. I don't want to breathe in my own air. I have been using the 70% alcohol spray. Like, I've been decanting that into my little spray bottle. I spray everything that I'm going to touch, like the shopping carts and everything. I spray all of that. I spray my purse that I'm carrying. I spray my phone. I spray my hands. It's not like I'm trying to catch any virus. I'm just going about living my life. So that's not really what's worrying me. So I'm tired of being shamed for this whole coronavirus. People think, people have their opinions, and if they think you're doing the wrong thing, they're going to shame you. And so I'm tired of being shamed. But, yeah, I'm tired of my church being closed. My church is not going to open until June 14th. And even then, it's like, we're just going to have a watch party. You're going to get to go to church and sit down. You can't talk to anybody. You have to wear a mask. And the preacher isn't going to be there because her and her family are high risk. So you can go sit there and look at the screen and watch her sermon while you're wearing a mask and not talking to people. I'm not about that. And if you guys know me, you know I love church. There's just something about being in church and being just, church is voluntary. So my battery's starting to blink. Church is voluntary. And so just the fact that people are voluntarily wanting to go sing and be with other believers, there's something beautiful about that. And I love it. I love church. And not being able to go to church, so yeah. Sorry I got a little emotional there, but such is life, I guess. These are those times. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. If you're feeling any of the things I'm feeling and what's going on with you. So, yeah, I look forward to hearing from you guys. And, excuse me, if you just happen to, like, randomly see this video and you want to subscribe, I would love to have you. So please subscribe and stick around. And yeah, I guess I will see you in my next video, friends. Bye.